Hot off of the Twitter press, we have the starting locations for all three of our legendary lords for the Chaos Dwarfs, and it's pretty cool. The Realm of Chaos, to be expected, you're going to see all three of the legendary lords starting in the Realm of Chaos. And then in the Immortal Empires, you're going to have both Drazhoath and Astragoth start at the north, the north and south sides of the Darklands, respectively, as well as Zhatan the Black, starting closer to Cathay. That is all of the news in this video. It's been 34 seconds, so if that's all you wanted to know, feel free to shut the video down. I'm just going to go through the pictures that are posted onto Twitter. You can find that link in the description if you want to jump into that as well. Also, if you have not yet pre-ordered the DLC, you can use my Creative Assembly affiliate link to help support the channel. It does get you that 10% discount. If you want to just wait until the game comes out, that discount is preserved for like a week after, so don't rush into it if you don't want to. Feel free to use that whenever you wish. And there's plenty of other content creators who have their link, so make sure you're supporting the content creator you want to use the link for. And lastly, don't forget to check me out on Twitch and follow me there, as I will be streaming the Chaos Dwarf DLC and doing giveaways as soon as I possibly can through any kind of early access and what have you. You can find a link to that in the description and the pinned comment. But let's get started here on the starting locations for all the legendary lords, the 30 legendary lords for the Chaos Dwarfs. So let's take a look at this. We're going to start with the Realm of Chaos before pivoting into the Immortal Empires. And I've got my handy telestrations. Okay, cool, they work, just making sure. So we are looking at Zhatan the Black. This is the first character we'll be looking at, and all three of them are in this starting location, right? They're all three going to be just spread around the Darklands here in the Realm of Chaos. And I think it's kind of, just to kind of push through these real quick, you can see here we have Astragoth over here, or Astragoth. And then we have Drazhoath right there. So each one of them is just at a different point in the south or Darklands, right? We have right here, and we got like, I think it was like right around here or so. So we have the three. And what's going to be pretty cool is this kind of gives some range, right? Astragoth can go in this direction. We get like some fun stuff here, possibly for Zhatan, and then Drazhoath, with of course the notion that they can all go towards the center of this spot as well. You're all, oh, that doesn't work too well if you. I see how that works now. I was like, oh, I'll zoom in for those of you watching in mobile. But either way, maybe I'll switch all that color to like a black instead. It might be a little bit easier to see, and we'll go with a little bit bigger of a brush width there. Oh yeah, look at that. That's good. So I think this is going to be a pretty fun location for them to kind of have some fun with, to spank things around. It's going to come down to their campaign mechanics and what they really look like, right? We know that the drill exists for the Chaos Dwarf, so we don't necessarily know how that drill really works. The Tomb Kings were fun in that, yeah, you started in the lands of Khemri, but really the Tomb King's objective was to kind of send them to the far portions of the world to get the books of Nagash. Now, for the drill for the Chaos Dwarfs and what that really means and how it's really going to work, I wonder if it means that we'll be having to get things to bring to the drill, if the drill is just a stationary location that we then have to build up, because that's how it looked like, right? It looked kind of like the Vampire Coast, where the Vampire Coast, you have to build the harpoon up more and more and more for the quest. So I'd like to see mechanically kind of a little bit of a combination of the Tomb Kings and of the Vampire Coast, and that you do have to kind of range far and wide, but you also have to build something up, because that kind of building something up is very industrial and very Chaos Dwarfy. So I'm cool with that mechanic. And I like the notion of ranging far and wide, because I think that otherwise, regardless of if you're playing Immortal Empires or Realm of Chaos, I assume the drill is only in Realm of Chaos, you're just going to be locked into this location. And that's not necessarily very fun. I think that looks like a really weird, like, guy with a weird emoji with a big old huge mouth and two eyes and like a bunch of arms. But I think like having something that is a little bit more engaging and kind of pushes me off in different directions is going to be more interesting too, because of the way the AI plays when I'm playing any other faction, you know? Am I going to be playing over here? Or even if I'm playing Boris Ursus, who starts here, remember, in the Realm of Chaos, in this portion of the map. Like, Boris is like, let's go with like a light blue for this. I feel like I'm fucking Bob Ross. Let's go with this little happy little tree. Boris is like right there. So he's going to start in between two of the Chaos Dwarfs, one over here and one over here. And that's going to really put his starting position into a far better situation, right? It's going to be a lot more jammed up. It's going to be a lot more exciting for him. And it's going to be fun to see how he kind of pushes out and deals with that. And I think too, I shut off the little telestration thing. I'll turn it back on. But I think too, when you look at the ability to do any sort of fun stuff out of this location, you get some cool things, right? Like you can push over here as Zhatan the Black, and it's pretty much uncontested in this location. Yeah, you've got Imric on Immortal Empires, but not in the realm of Chaos. So this whole location can kind of be like Zhatan the Black's little empire. And for Astragoth, he has a lot of interesting opposition, right? You have got Big Daddy Nurgle. Do I really need to get this crazy with the colors? No, but do I have OCD about it? Yes. Do I actually have OCD? Absolutely not. You've got, that's a yellow. There we go. You've got Nurgle like right there, and you're dealing with Cathay. I'm sorry, not Cathay, but with like Kislev over in these regions over there. So you do have some fun stuff to kind of contend with, which I think will be pretty interesting, right? I think it'll be fun to kind of see how that all plays out. Corn's over there. So with these kind of in mind, that will be kind of a direction that you'll have to deal with, not to account the NPC dwarfs that are in these locations that you will be dealing with as well. Two, if we're looking over at this side of the territory or this land, that yellow is just harder to get to now. This side of the field, we've got, God, it's weird. I'm thinking of like the other map. Like Grand Cathay is kind of like that, right? You have our two starting locations for Cathay, and then you get with our big boys, the ogres, you get that. I think it's like right around here. So you have some fun stuff and some fun opposition. And I think that that's kind of cool too, because it gives Drazhoath a little bit of an objective that isn't just simply taking the hinterland. So fun directions here in the realm of Chaos. Let's look at what this looks like now from the Immortal Empire's view. And we're going to start with the most interesting one. Astragoth. Nope, Zhatan the Black. Zhatan the Black has a spicy start location, man. Like he's all the way up here. We're just going to stick with one color. There's no more of this just jumping around. Starts all the way over here, and he is far away from the Darklands, right? His bros are down in the southern and the northern portions. We have like right here and like right around here, I want to say. I think that's where the Black Fortress is. So like those are the two starting locations. So I think Zhatan the Black is going to be really fun. I personally, that's the character I'm going to be playing first and on stream and showing off. I will have videos covering each one of the characters as I get access and as I can do them, and the embargoes and all that crap. But I think Zhatan the Black interests you the most because he has the most unique starting position. He's right here. You got Kolek right over there. You have Village right over here. You have What's His Nuts right over here as well. Lokir Fellheart. Then you have Miao Yangs. You have a lot right around him. Grimgor Ironhide is right there. I would imagine he has a good relationship enough with Grimgor Ironhide, because otherwise that's going to be a lot of pressure on him to start off. And I mean, not to mention, that's not that far away from Astragoth over here. So if he pushes to unite the Empire, through this little, through the mountains over here, that's great. The Mountains of Morn. Or he pushes east and then south into Cathay, or west and north into Archaon all the way up here. And you have Boris Ursus over here. Valkia is around there. Or no, Valkia is over here on that map. Whoops. But you do have, Kislev. So you have lots of wild placement across this map for these people. And I think that the fun kind of directions you can go with Zhatan, I think makes for a way more enjoyable playthrough. Not to mention that the other two are terrible. Looking at them, okay, Astragoth 2 has almost that same trajectory, right? He can go this direction over into Kislev, north over into fighting Archaon, or just south and fighting directly into Astragoth. Or no, Astragoth, sorry. This is Astragoth. This is into Drazhoath. And having thrown some fisticuffs with his Chaos Dwarf brother that he's exiled ages ago. So there's a lot, and not to mention all of the NPC factions that are over here that are pretty much just ripe for the picking for him. Imric's down there. We got Gorst over here. Now, I'm talking about this as if none of it's changed. I would assume with 3.0, we're going to see something change with the Immortal Empire's map. Maybe some stuff is kind of moved around. I think with Lokir, Fellheart, and Nakai, you have two characters that could possibly just be placed wherever is necessary for them to kind of thrive. They feel like such wild card characters that I feel like as DLCs come and more characters are placed onto the map, Creative Assembly is just going to say, okay, we'll place them over there now to kind of create tension or relieve tension in these areas. Like if we're talking about the future of Cathay DLC, Nakai being down here, I don't think that's a long form staying. Same thing with Lokir up here. If they did a Cathay DLC that added the Monkey King and the Southern Fire Dragon Lord, right, the one from the Fire Clan who is always with his uncle Aiko. If he's in opposition with the Monkey King, that's going to immediately butt up with Nakai and Nakai's expansion possibilities and his AI profile and all that blah, 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 blah. So I think that they would just move Nakai to a different location until it kind of makes more sense. But Drazhoath here. It's going to be interesting for, God, man, I'm sorry, Astragoth, not Drazhoath, for Astragoth here, because he's smashed apart or into a lot of lords. With Grimgor, with Kislev, with Archaon, with Boris. That's why I think some things are probably going to move around. And then going here lastly into Drazhoath. He's all the way down into another pretty jammed up location. Imric's over here. What's his nuts is at this mountain over here now. Gorst is right down there. We get the ogres right over here. So Drazhoath is pretty jam-packed too. So that kind of leads me to believe that something's going to change here. Especially too if they add Nagash and Nagash starts down in this location, you know, at Nagashazar, I would expect him too to kind of displace some lords. And I think that that's what's going to be the tale with Immortal Empires is an ever-changing starting locations for certain lords that are outside necessarily of their quote-unquote lore purview, right? Like, you know, oh, this character's here because we decided to put him there for this purpose. But lore-wise, maybe it doesn't make as much sense, or whatever the situation is. These little kind of things are moving all over the place. There we go. So I think that it's exciting to see these starting locations. I'm stoked on it. I think Zhatan the Black has the coolest one. Drazhoath and Astragoth both just kind of dominate over the Darklands, which is fine. But I'm glad that one of the Chaos Dwarfs doesn't start there in Immortal Empires. That he does have a further reaching campaign off of this location. And it's hard to say too what the Chaos Dwarf NPC factions will look like. Are they only going to be in the Darklands? Are there going to be some rogue elements too that are in the World's Edge Mountains or the Mountains of Morn, giving some possible alliance factions to the characters that are north, south, or a range from the Darklands? I do want to see that too. Like, where are those NPC factions going to be placed on the map? So, a lot of fun, exciting stuff here for the Forge of the Chaos Dwarf DLC. Very, very excited for it. Like I said before, guys, go ahead and use my link in the description below if you'd like to help support the channel. But as always, thank you so much for watching here today. Have a good one and take care.